chatting over a cuppa. It is the latest of a series of videos and is an informal discussion on my debut novel, Arya's Dream, which was published recently. In this series, I invite a few readers as guests. They will ask me questions on my novel, Arya's Dream. It's a little different to other videos, other interviews, where an author is interviewed by an interviewer or a host. My readers will ask me questions and we will engage in a friendly chat while sipping our tea. In today's program, I have my friend, Mrs. Sarojini Ekanayaka, who was a banker. She worked at National Australia Bank, and after leaving the bank, she uses her time doing what she likes. This beautiful backyard where we are seated today is the testimony of how she spends her leisure usefully. She's an avid reader. Besides, she uses her free time to sing and is a very good singer. Hello, Saro. How are you?
Hello, Savi. I am good, thank you. Thank you for having me as your guest reader in your first interview.
You're most welcome, Saro. Thank you for your willingness to ask me questions on my book.
Congratulations on publishing your novel. Could you tell me how you got the inspiration to write Arya's Dream?
Thank you so much. Yes, the inspiration to write Arya's Dream came after observing some issues in Sri Lanka. Even before the economic downturn, I felt that some of the issues that happen are not in the best interest of the masses. It's like they carry such a burden all their lives without enjoying life. Whereas the politicians enjoy the benefits or give the benefits to the families, friends and supporters, and either neglect or oppress the voters and as well as the masses. I remember the youth unrest and the 30-year war. These incidents have impacted the country and its economy badly. But what are the solutions? The rulers crushed these young rebels or whoever opposed them. This is the reality of the post-independent Sri Lanka. Now, Sri Lanka is riddled in debt, and there are so many social, political issues. So, in brief, I have the struggling everyday Sri Lankans as characters, and their problems like poverty, unemployment, harassment, abuse, inequality, lack of opportunity, etc. And I am inspired to give voice to the voiceless.
Arya is the most important character. What made you select her for the main role?
Yes, Arya is a retired teacher. She's just an ordinary person. Her aim in life is to lead a simple life away from the hustle and bustle. She is considerate, imaginative, intelligent and resourceful. Again, she is both fragile and strong. She has the strength of character and worked out what matters in life. Also, in selecting her, I want to cover the past and the present and weave some historical events into the story. So she is the best narrator of some of the past incidents like the independence, youth insurrection, ethnic war, etc. Again, she is the inspiration to forget the past and move on with life.
I like the way Arya gives advice and inspires the villagers of Dulu Nadavella. What made you create such a wonderful character?
Well, I wanted a motherly figure as my main character. She can be any strong Sri Lankan mother, as most of the women of that era, she's solid with professional knowledge, experience and skills. She's a woman with practical wisdom, so I can easily say she's a wise woman. She advises, gives common sense view to the villagers. In one situation she says, Ranna, you're a potter, stop marketing that minister, you're not his tom-tom beater. Again, she encourages women who are abused, discriminated, and don't have opportunities. So I wanted to show what ordinary Sri Lankan women can do.
Another quality she has is the way Arya sees the possibilities for the village. Isn't she a good leader?
Yes, Arya is a leader. She rises to the occasion when she is asked to give her skills and experience. She not only educates and empowers the youths who lack any source of income, but supports in starting a skills-based program for the village youths when the politicians and banks had failed the village. She shows the possibility to see and think outside the box. In that way, Arya is a visionary leader. What she proposes is a simple solution, and she empowers them so that they could stop their political motives and move on with life.
Another thing I like about Arya is how she loves nature. It's like she is inspired by the place she lives.
Yes, in a way, she's like you, Saru. Arya loves nature and is very much inspired by nature. She lives in this very scenic Dununadavela, and she absorbs the wealth of that beauty and tranquility. She has the Hinganga, Knuckles mountain range, the paddy fields of Kiribanda, streams, rocks, and the temple. The beauty of Sri Lankan village life comes to life with Arya's observation of nature.
What Arya does is giving advice and guidance, but that motivates the people. Isn't that amazing?
Yes, that's true. Sri Lankans needs inspiration and motivation, and Arya gives enough of that. She's able to see the resourcefulness of that village than any other person. Villagers are badly neglected due to the political decisions and situation. Initially, she is a very private person. She observes everything. But she turns to be community oriented as the need arises. She rises to the occasion and takes the village in a new direction with her guidance. I think she is a very good leader as well as a role model.
I think if anyone wants to make Sri Lanka beautiful and wealthy, they should read Arya's Dream. Is that right?
Of course, Saru. Arya's Dream is a guidebook to make Sri Lanka a prosperous country. Sri Lanka is a beautiful country. There's no doubt about it. When you think about the stunning views, golden beaches, the landscape that's so lush and green, and the staggering mountains, where would you find such beauty? But some of these places can be very badly neglected. Some of these places cannot be reached because of lack of infrastructure facilities and such. But when it comes to developing the country, Arya's Dream has many suggestions on how to develop and what to do. They are just simple practices like and changes like how to start a community project or a farm. Every village in Sri Lanka could start such community farms. They are simple changes without destroying the village or its beauty. That way, the rural economy will improve. When you think about the Sri Lankans and their skills, Some of these are beautiful crafts. They're exquisite, but unfortunately, they don't seem to reach a foreign market or go beyond a certain point. If the government could invest in rural economy, these industries could flourish. And again, when you think about Sri Lankan food, Sri Lankan cuisine, sensational and authentic. So there are so many suggestions to on how to improve, and this way, tourism could be revived, as well as some industries, as well as cottage industries, could be started. Actually, the Arya's Dream is a handbook on how to develop the country.
I think you give a message in your novel about being united. Would you like to talk about that?
Yes, I think there's so much disunity in Sri Lanka, in some of these villages, but most of these are useless grudges. And these people lived in the same place and they are basically cut off from the outside world. And on top of it, politics has caused such an unhealthy environment. My message is that if people of Sri Lanka come together, despite the differences of caste, race, religion, or politics, they could actually work towards a common goal. And this is shown in Arya's dream, and there is a better future for Sri Lanka being a prosperous country.
Where could the interested readers buy the book?
Yes, Saro. The website aryasdream.com has my email address. If any interested reader wants to buy the book, they could contact me. In Sri Lanka, the book is available in most leading bookstores.
Okay. Thank you so much for the interesting discussion, Sami. I really appreciate you for having me. I really enjoyed reading your book, Arya.
Thank you,
Yeah, I
Sarah.
can't wait to read your next book. Yeah.
Okay, I won't let you down, Sarah.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful for your presence in the very first episode of Chatting Over a Cuppa and letting me do the interview in this very scenic, beautiful backyard. Have a nice day, Saro.
You too, Sari.